Okay, cool. Hey, everybody, it's Noah with Zone Podcast. Today I'm with Lydia. Go ahead, introduce yourself and kind of to everybody.
Hold on. It said, okay, now we're good. It was frozen for a second.
Cool.
So, hi, everybody. I'm Lydia Capps with Wallace Real Estate, and I'm super happy to be here. So,
Awesome, awesome. So what's kind of your story and like how'd you get into like real estate?
so I was kind of in the industry for a little bit over a year. I've I was pursuing healthcare and medical school probably since like sixth grade until last year, and I kind of just did like a 360. So, um, I started out wanting to go to physical therapy school and then realized that it's not a good field to go into. And then I was really interested in dental school for a long time. But then last school year, I got super into like investing in credit. And then I was like, okay, real estate is the most lucrative way to invest, obviously. And
Mhm.
so just kind of poured a lot of time into it. And then I felt like getting licensed was the next thing. So I'm working as a realtor now. And then school wise, I have 2 more years and I'm double majoring in finance and business analytics with
Mhm.
a collateral on commercial real estate. So I'm in residential right now and I will eventually get into commercial and private equity. So that's the plan for right now. But I think I think I thought I wanted to pursue healthcare at first because I love like building relationships and helping people. And, women are like, oh, healthcare, like every woman wants to be a nurse or whatever. So, but I always like last year I worked at a eye specialist place. So we did contacts, glasses, LASIK, all the procedures.
Mhm.
And I just always felt myself getting bored. And it's like, even at the doctorate level, it's rinse and repeat. You can only see a certain amount of patients in a day.
Mhm.
So I think I really need the scalability that real estate and finance provide. So I'm definitely where I'm supposed to be now.
Okay. I've noticed a lot of people um, that I've interviewed have started in medical or something pretty difficult like that, and they kind of build the skills of like studying. Do you think building the skill of going to college for medical and studying like that helped you transition into your real estate career?
Oh yeah, the work ethic for sure. I see, again, like you said, I've seen a lot of people make the transition from healthcare to real estate, or even like law to real estate. A lot of people that are into the legal side of things, are really into real estate as well. Um, but I think just the attention to detail that you have to have with healthcare and the crazy classes you have to take, like insanely hard, stupid. But I think it definitely does transition over well, for sure.
Okay, awesome. So do you think like with that like real estate school, how long does real estate school actually last?
Well, I took it fully online, so I think you have access for up to a year, but I did it in 2 months because you can do it a lot faster than that. But I was working full time and full time school and real estate school at the same time. So it
Dang.
took me a little longer, but you can take in person classes for real estate school in as short as 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Get it done, take the exam. So I was in real estate school for 2 months, finished on a Friday, took the state national exam that next Friday. So the timeline worked out well.
Hmm. How do you think like learning because multiple people I guess it's just different for everybody, but like learning online, especially I had somebody on I think last week and she was talking about like if you're going to become an entrepreneur, like you don't necessarily need to go to college, but I would take your own studying into your own hands of like, with the online school stuff, like you were in school at the same time, even like you having a business right now, um, like in real estate, basically it's a business.
Mhm.
And you're able to take like your own education in your own hands. Do you believe that most entrepreneurs or salespeople would need to take that education in their own hands, learn finance, learn all these things, instead of just being like, I don't need a degree, I'm done? Because the popular belief right now is like, no degree, I can do it all myself. Like I'm gonna pull myself up by my bootstraps, but I feel like you really need to know the boring stuff in order to be super successful.
Which is completely true. Like you said, you do not need a degree at all to be in real estate. And I know extremely successful people that have no degree under their belt. But um, again, it does depend person to person and what you want to do. And I feel like I'm at the age where like I'm not going to want to go back to school when I'm older. I want to get it done now. Like I'm 19 years old. I have so much time to do this. I have my whole life's work, which I love working right now too. But also once I merge my real estate and finance, I do need that accreditation. Um, and I also want to get my MBA after too, which is like another 16 months. So it definitely does depend on the person, and you don't have to have a degree, but I honestly enjoy school for right now and working. So yeah.
So why go to get that MBA? Like, I know you said you enjoy school, but is there something under that? Like,
I think MBA just it's not as long as any other graduate program, and it gives you more accreditation. I want to speak at conferences, and most speakers have MBAs. I think it just gives you a lot more foots in the door, and salary wise, if you're working corporate, it'll definitely bump that up as well.
that's interesting. I haven't heard that take before of somebody being like, okay, cool. I didn't know most speakers had I didn't know that. What the heck?
I mean, you don't have to again, but I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of them do. It's just it's an accreditation thing. So
Okay. Okay. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like a foot in the door. It's an extra thing in your utility belt, basically.
yeah,
Okay.
which I'm all about papers on the wall and tools in my belt.
Awesome. Awesome. So another thing is like, I want to shift gears and ask you, like, what's been your most interesting like customer interaction that you've had when getting into real estate?
So I wouldn't say I've had anything like insanely crazy happen with
Okay.
customers like in real life, but honestly, over social media, I've had some kind of crazy connections. Like last week, I was calling up I had to get my tires rotated, which is so boring. And so I called up the place that I go to get tires, and the guy was like, hey, I'm looking to make an appointment, blah, blah, blah. What's your car? Whatever. And he was like, how's business going for you in real estate? And I was like, what? Like, how did you know? He was like, oh, I
uh,
follow you on social media. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I've never talked to this guy before. And I wouldn't say I have an insane online presence, but you'd be surprised, like, how far posts that you don't think are doing much can go,
yeah.
and how people are actually watching that you aren't aware of.
Mhm.
Like I got a DM on TikTok from this guy asking about commercial loans, and I just start talking to him. I gave him a call. He's all the way out in Oregon,
Hmm.
and I referred him to another agent in Oregon and got paid for it
Wow.
through TikTok.
That's awesome.
So it's also it's social media can definitely serve you to connect with a lot of people. Like I don't know what people did before social media and business. Seriously, like
Yeah.
it's such an asset. Like you can just scale so much faster with social media, and um, but it also can be like kind of weird because all my contact information is out there, which is great, but also like I got a call the other day from New York, and like I have to pick up my phone all the time. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who it is. And this guy was like, "Hey, I saw you on social media. I'm a broker up here in New York." So we just start talking real estate for like 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, this is great, making new connections, whatever. And
Mhm.
then he's like, would you mind if like I paid you to text me or something? And it was like it just turned like super weird.
What
Like
the heck?
there's just creepy people out there, but social media's been great for sure to connect
What
people.
the heck?
He's like, I
It's
think you're
like,
so funny, and I want to like, do you have like Venmo? And I was like, I just hung up. Like that just wasted
your
time.
time, yeah.
I thought we were having a great conversation for like 30 minutes.
That's the one thing. It's like social media is just like it can bring you so much value. I've never had that experience. So I've never had anybody like, I mean, there's always those like fake scams that like text you and they're like, "Hey, I want to be your sugar mama. I will text
Yeah.
you this." And I'm like, "Come on, man. Like, I'm not dumb.
I get
But
a text like probably every other day. I don't know what it is with people in health or people in like health insurance trying to connect with realtors are like, hey, I assist members of National Association of Realtors getting health insurance plans. Would you
hmm.
be interested? And I just respond, hey, I assist clients with luxury home transactions. Would you like to set up a buyer's consultation? Like, no, I don't want health insurance.
Oh my gosh. That's okay, that's an interesting point. So what people have told me is that real estate agents get sold to like the most. Like they're always trying like people are always trying to sell real estates on agents on something. Can you attest to that or like
Yeah, it's like people from marketing agencies, title companies, lenders, they're always trying to, hey, let's get coffee sometime, like all the time,
Hmm,
because I mean, it's just that all this real estate is such an interconnected business with so many facets of it, like
yeah.
lending, title, mortgage, all that, whatever it is. And, you know, you're not going to make in this business if it's just yourself anyway. So I'm all for it. I love meeting new people, seeing how we can collaborate, how we can do business together. You know, that's what it's all about. But we're
Mhm.
definitely, agents are definitely targeted a lot to try to make connections with.
How do you choose the right partnerships or when you're wanting to partner up with someone?
I tell people communication is a big thing for me. Like, how are you going to be communicating with me and my client? Um, being super truthful, because a lot of things can go wrong during a transaction, and a lot of people don't want to admit if they screwed up or if something fell through with finances or whatever it is.
Mhm.
You know, I'm a really bottom line number person. Like, I don't want the fluff. You know, I'm trying to close, you're trying to close. So
Yeah.
it's, I think a lot of people look at this business as like a competition. Like, I'm on my side with my client, you're on your side with your client, and this is a competition. But it's
Yeah.
really a collaboration. Like, I want to close, you want to close. So let's work on this together and see how we can do it. So that's a big thing for me, communication and truth.
Do you end up having a lot of people who like don't hit that bar of like is there a top like percentage where it's like okay, you've kind of made it in my mind.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's definitely people that I just haven't done business with for a variety of reasons, whether it's, I don't know, that I guess just the communication thing. And I don't, I only want to work with people that, because people that I work with, um, you know, that's, my clients know that as well, and they're going to get a sense for, like, I don't know how to best explain this, but we're all working together on this, and something that I'm working with is also a reflection of how I work. So, you know, I want to work with people that have the same end goal in mind and do business. Not the same, because you want to work with people that complement your weaknesses.
Yeah.
There are definitely people that, like, that's a big thing that I've had to learn, is like setting boundaries and being able to say no to people,
Mhm.
because you will just get spread so thin and burn out if you say yes to everybody. And I'm a people pleaser, so I like saying yes to people, but it's really a strategy of being able to say, having criteria for who you work with,
Yeah.
and being able to say no to people and know that there's plenty of business out there if you're saying no to some people.
So that's an interesting point. I was listening to a couple of things. One by Alex Hermosi, and he was like, "There's a season of no." Hey, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, pretty awesome, dude. But yeah, he's talking about the season of no, and that kind of lit in my mind for that, just because even when it comes to like our age, right? Because we both, you're 19, I just turned 20 like 2 or 3 days ago, and so like we have an interesting perspective because I feel like a lot of people in our age group see the social media and they see the entrepreneurship and they see that and now it's cool. We have a like the business owners that we work with, the partnerships that we work with, they have a different perception of reality. They're sitting at like 10-year mark of being in business at their 35 and it wasn't cool when they were our age. And now it's cool.
Yeah.
And it's super
Everybody wants to be an
interesting.
entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah. there's a lot of people who are like, have you dealt with anything where it's like, nah, you're not gonna make it from any of your friends, or is it? Because I haven't experienced any of that. A lot of these videos I hear are like, oh, everyone's gonna tell you no, but you got to keep going. I really get it from like uncles, aunts, parents, stuff like that. I'm very lucky to have my mom. She owns her own business, but like, um, just the people around me and my family are like, nah, dude. But the people that are close to me, they just don't care. Like, there's not really a not anyone from high school is like, hey, you're gonna fail. Like, get out of here. No one's
Yeah.
doing that. Have you experienced any of that?
I think a big thing is, and it's hard to go to say this in like a way that doesn't sound arrogant or like I'm not gonna listen to people, but like
Yeah,
if someone is genuinely not doing what you want to do, then why would you take advice from them? And so I think that's hard
yeah,
with family because I was reading a book by Grant Cardone recently, and he was saying like your family is going to be your biggest naysayers,
yeah,
and my family is amazing. We're super close, but you know I can't tell you how many times I've heard like, why would you get into real estate right now? The market's down. Like, it's such a bad time to get in. But, you know, like, that's first of all not true at all. And why would I take advice from someone that's not even in real estate or doing exactly what I want to do 20 years
yeah.
down the road? So
Exactly.
I think that definitely is a big thing. It is weird to navigate because, like, I think the average age of a realtor is like 58 or something. Like,
Jeez, I did not know
there's
that.
it's but that's what makes me so excited to connect with people like you and agents that
Mhm.
are my age, which is pretty. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that want to get into real estate at my age, but not a lot of people that actually will do it.
Yeah,
And because, you know, it's so attractive. Like,
yeah,
I don't have anybody telling me what to do. I get to look at pretty houses. I can wake up whenever I want. But I mean, I by far work probably double the hours that I worked at a 9 to 5 now. But it's great. Like it's, you know, there's pros and cons to
yeah.
everything.
How?
So
What about with like people that are your age? Have you had any people be like telling you like, "Hey, you're gonna fail," or like, what has been their reaction from your friends or like, yeah, your friends?
I think it's, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I haven't really gotten a whole lot of negative feedback. I think it's the same as what you're saying, like just people
Hmm.
that are really close to you, like family,
Yeah.
that, you know, because they're the ones that saw you start before you started. They're the ones that saw you like play around with the idea of getting into the business. But other people, like my friends and people that I'm connecting with, you know, they're just seeing you on social media and actually doing the business. So I really haven't gotten a lot of whole negative feedback from other people my age, like friends. But I think it draws a lot of people towards real estate, like the, you know, again, it's attractive and they're like, oh wow, you're actually doing it.
Yeah, that's another thing. There's so many people that say, I've heard it from multiple industries. They're like, everybody's a life insurance agent. Why are you becoming a life insurance agent? Everybody's in real estate. You know how many realtors there are? There's so many real estate agents.
Yeah, I think there's like
Um,
60 over 6,000 in just Knoxville.
yeah, yeah. So do you see it as something that's really saturated, or do you see it as like it's just how it is? You know how many houses there are? Like,
There's plenty of business, and
yeah.
I've been targeting like off market properties, properties that aren't even on the market because obviously we have low inventory right now. But um, yeah, there is always going to be business. People are always going to need to buy and sell houses. And the reality is, like, yes, there are over 6,000 agents, and that's an insane number.
Mhm.
But the amount of agents that are part time or
Yeah.
moms at home that are looking for something to do or just sell 3, 4 houses a year for close family or friends. Um, the people that are actually doing business differently and marketing strategically, those are the people that are going to come out on top and actually going to get the business of all of Knoxville, not the other 6,000 agents.
Hmm. So what is your differentiating factor? Like, what makes you different from most agents?
I think my attention to detail and communication is a big thing that I focus on.
Mhm.
Um, I am a sucker for attention to detail. Like I'm gonna get the contract done in the next few hours. Like you're not gonna have to worry about hearing from me, or like I follow up with clients. It just depends on the urgency of the situation, but every day, every other day, always checking in to see what you like, what you don't like. Um, I think communication is a huge thing because I hear clients all the time that'll say, past agents, I didn't hear from them, and I didn't know, like, my house expired, but I don't know why, or this is what I thought the agent did wrong, and I never got feedback. And I think that's a big thing that I bring to the table is a sense of urgency, like let's get this contract written right now, and communication.
So I kind of want to shift gears a little bit, and ask you, like, even keeping up with your agents, do you use any type of automations? Like, how do you utilize tech within the business, or not agents, but how do you keep up with those customers?
Yeah, so I'll start with, I think a lot of what people are attracted to in real estate is the passivity of it,
Mhm.
when in reality it's not. But I think utilizing tech and automation can enhance that passivity of it. So I use platforms like Curb Hero it's an automatic follow up with clients as soon
Hmm.
as they walk in the door when I host events or open houses or whatever. Um, I mean, just the tech and marketing we have available now is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes things like it's always a learning process. There's always some new platform that I'm learning about. Like even just as simple as digital contracts, e-signing. Like people used to have to meet clients to sign anything at like a coffee shop, and now I just send it to them. They sign it online. That's called transaction desk. Like scheduling appointments just like this, like Calendly or Google Calendar makes things so easy to schedule things. Um, Forewarn is a really cool one.
Oh, one. What's that?
I can look up anybody and it'll give me their phone number, email, criminal record, address, what car they drive.
What?
like like
Is that only for realtors though? Because I know that's most of them will be like it's only MLS data.
I think you might have to have like a login through a company, but I don't know what all companies use it. So, like, if I've a big thing now, through social media, I've never met most of these people until I'm actually meeting them to sign a contract or view a property or whatever it is. So, I want to know if they've had any criminal history, or, like I'm like a young girl in the industry. I'm not trying to be involved with, there's a lot of just crazy things that go on in the world. But like, this is kind of crazy because you know who Bryce Harper is, right?
No, no, I don't know who Bryce Harper is.
Really? He plays on the Phillies in the MLB.
No.
So, so he is moving to Knoxville,
Mhm.
and off season right now he lives in like Nevada or Nevada, however you say it. And so, all the realtors in my office are like trying to make connections, like,
Wow.
he's
Yeah.
gonna have to buy a house here. And so I literally texted him the other day because I have his phone number because of this platform. So it's just crazy what you can do. And
How'd you
I
figure
think,
out about that? Were you put on by another agent or?
yeah, I think there's a lot of agents in my office that use it.
No.
But I think the whole automation and AI thing is it's a constant learning process. AI is, getting smarter every day.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people are like, what jobs are going to be displaced by this? And, AI is going to take over this whole industry, but, people thought that when computers were invented, and look where we are now. Like they aren't, like, yes, they probably did
Enhanced.
displace some jobs, but it opened up so many other job opportunities that weren't even a thing before. Like
Mhm.
now we have computer science majors. That wasn't a thing before computers. Um, so I think utilizing AI is gonna be what brings out agents on top. And if you don't utilize it, I mean, you're just gonna be slow. I mean, that's just how it is.
Exactly. I mean, like that's some that's some you're preaching to the choir because that's something we do at our at our company. But we have people all the time because we'll post screenshots where basically we have a solar bot that from the time it clicks the ad, it literally can answer exactly like a human, and like the other solar rep, he's focusing on selling, like he's focusing on selling what he's good at. All the other extra stuff can be automated.
Mhm.
Everything else can be automated. When you talk about like the follow-ups, it's like, yeah, happy birthday, boom, it's followed up, but I'm out here selling right now, right now.
Yeah.
Or even ads, like there's an ad and then it's running all night. I'm getting appointments at 1 a.m. in the in the
Mhm.
morning while I'm sleeping, and there's an AI just talking to them and booking that appointment. So when I wake up, my calendar's booked, and it's smart enough to know that there's spaces on your calendar because it's connected to the calendar. So it's just like, why you're just so much faster, like you said. You're so
Yeah,
much.
and it's all about delegating to automation like
Yeah.
that because that's like we're in sales, we're in real estate. That's what should be our main focus is prospecting throughout the day because that's what's driving your business.
Hmm.
But things like follow-ups and stuff like that, like that's just a time suck. It's necessary, absolutely, but that's why we need to harness automation because it's crazy. Like that's booking your appointments for you, like that's just amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I used to knock door to door, and I would have like a little notepad that I would write down people, and it's like, no, like no. Now
Yeah.
you put them into a follow up campaign, and they just get followed up with indefinitely until they say yes or get the heck out of here. You know.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be cool to see how that even progresses in the next few years or like when we're 40, 50 in this industry, like it's gonna be insane of how AI is changing by then because it's even in the past 6 months, there's been
yeah,
so much happen.
yeah, I know it's crazy. I mean, yeah, 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 it's an insane thing. I even like I used to when AI first came out, I was fearful. Like I was fearful for like maybe 2 weeks, and I was like, oh shoot, I am a salesperson. I am a people person. I'm like the type of guy who's out there, you know, merchant basically. We're forever in my whole life. Like that's what I want to do, and this AI could take my stuff. Like, what the heck? Even lawyers, man. Like lawyers, you can put into ChatGPT and then have your answer. Like, you really only need a lawyer if you're going to court. So it's like all these jobs are leaving. I went through a period like 2-3 weeks where I was just like, dude, what the heck? And I was calling my friends. I was calling my tech friend. He was like, hey, this and that and the other. This is how it's going. Like, don't be scared of this because this is how it is. And then finally, I just embraced it. And I was like, everybody's going to be using it. Might as well be the one that takes the opportunity instead of being the one that doesn't. Because,
Yeah.
like we said, the 55-year-old agents that are still writing on a piece of note paper, you're going to crush them because you're going to have a social media outreach. You can reach like 1,000 people. Like this video is going to be clipped up and probably reach like 20,000 people just
Mhm.
because of how many impressions it gets. I mean, we get like 6,000 impressions on a video, and those are just like those are impressions, not views, but like still you look at the bigger number because you know that's the number
Yeah.
where you're like, ah, yay. Like, you know
Well,
what I
it's
mean?
still your name that
Yeah.
they're seeing. And yeah, I went through the same thing too a couple weeks. I'm like, what the heck is AI? And that sounds scary. It's doing people's jobs for them. And
Mhm.
it was hard because I'm such a people person too, and I love connecting with people. And so there is this fine line of how much automation do I want because I want to connect with them on a personal level as well. But it's
Yeah.
like at the same time, it doesn't even matter if I like automation or not, or if I think it's going to displace people's jobs or not. It's coming and it's going to grow and get faster. So I mean, we don't have a choice but to leverage it in businesses. And it's just going to be like that. It's just a constant, like, real estate changes every year. The market changes every day.
Yeah.
So it's always about staying on top of it and implementing things like automation is what it's
Yeah.
gonna be about.
I mean, the freakiest thing that I was that freaked me out the most was like the automated like YouTube channels and stuff where there's like people who can make the perfect content and just be able to blow up and just take all of what YouTube's looking for, condense it, make that a channel, and literally go viral every single video. But then I thought to myself, and I'm like, there's gonna be verified check marks. There's gonna be people who are like, hey, this is a AI content creation machine, and then this is a person, because you can. I think the verified check mark will be, instead of a status thing, it'll be more of a, this is a real human thing, because
Mhm.
people want to buy from people. People don't want to buy from AI. Like when you think about it, when you call like the bank, for example, my bank, Chase Bank, it has an AI, and I'm like, fuck, like, come on, like I hate talking to this dude,
Yeah.
like, and it's like, come on, I don't want to talk to you, like, I don't want to talk to you. So I would hate to have my house be sold. Like, I would hate to buy real estate, my house, from a freaking AI. That'd be like,
Yeah.
what the heck, like, so yeah, that's
Yeah, and it is like I think automation definitely makes a lot of things easier. Like the follow up is like, I don't want to sit here and follow up with 50 people a day and
yeah.
just text them. Like that's not driving business. But like if I'm showing somebody a house, the way we get into a house with like Supra is with my phone. It's like all automation.
Hmm.
But AI is never going to be like this is also a thing where usually it's the husband that's like, okay, here's the numbers, here's
Hmm.
what I like, or like the engineers, like they want to know, they just want to know the numbers. And the wife is like, oh, this is where I can put my Christmas tree or like have family gatherings. Like that's that personal connection where AI is never going to be able to do that.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're getting close on time. So, what can everybody kind of expect from you in the future?
In the future, like my long term,
Yeah, yeah.
um, right now I'm just focused on driving business like we've been talking about. Bigger outreach. And I think eventually when I tap into commercial, like I designed a luxury office building a few months ago. I'm working on that business plan right now. And once I'm graduated and everything, I might get into financial advising for a little bit, but I eventually want to have my own private equity firm that acquires and develops commercial real estate. So that's
Hmm.
my long term. That's what you can be expecting from me. And yeah, just getting after it.
Hmm. Thinking in that like 10-year goal span of like farther. I mean, like, we both watched Alex Armozy, and he's got that thing where he's like, as long as you stay into it for an unreasonable amount of time, then you'll be successful.
Hmm.
It's like, even with this building our personal brand, we're starting so early. Most people that are our age are just posting on that one picture every once in a while on Instagram, right? We're both putting out content, so like in 5 years, we are going to be so much more known. Our social, like, I guess, currency and status, whatever, will allow us to go into any industry, really. Because like, that's one thing where I'm like, I'm sticking to an industry, and I'm staying in it. But if I were to ever change, I still have a brand. So it's like, forever, there's no way that I will ever be back down. Once you make it
Yeah.
to a certain point, unless you do something really stupid, then you're pretty much good.
Yeah. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Is being consistent with your personal brand and how I think that's a transition is like going from posting on social media for like your friends and, your friends from high school or whatever to like my social media is not for my friends anymore. It's for people that I want to provide value to and that I want to work with. So I think that's definitely a mindset shift that you have to go through.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing is, you said driving business. I have a curious question. Um, are you going to do ads? Like, is ads something that's like good in real estate? Because I don't know.
A lot of people do ads like Facebook ads or Instagram ads. I tried to run one for an open house a couple days ago, but then it like wasn't approved by Instagram or something because I don't know why. I guess it was promoting something they didn't like, but that is something that I want to get into that I haven't yet is like actually buying ads to up impressions and leads and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I've noticed like I haven't seen, obviously I'm not the target audience for real estate, so it's probably why I haven't been seeing any real estate ads, but yeah, I haven't noticed it a bunch.
yeah, I have real estate ads all over my Instagram. Like,
That's another thing. That's another thing that's interesting with our with the age that we're living in is our whole feed is catered towards us. So it brings a lot of
it's
divide.
crazy.
Like it brings a lot of divide, but it also brings a lot of like growth at the same time for the individual level. But like with me, it's like, okay, I'll see the industry that I'm in. I'm an AI automation agency, right? So I'll see those SMMA. I'll see the people, and they're like, if you're an agency owner, da 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 da, and I see it all the time. And it's like I see their ads to potential clients as well, where they're like, this AI will book da da da. It's like, man, what am I? Is everybody doing what I'm doing? And it's like, no, they're not. That's not how that
Yeah,
works. It's just because you're specific. So it brings like a different reality shift of like the whole world where it's like when I
right.
was doing solar, like everything I saw was solar, and I was like, I'm in a saturated industry.
I feel like they said that about physical therapy, said that about dental, like every industry is saturated. It's just because you're who are around. Like I
Yeah.
know so many agents my age, but when I go tell somebody that I'm a 19-year-old real estate agent, they're like,
Well,
I've never heard that before. Like, what do you do? Like, you don't hear that often, but I do because that's just it's like my whole feed is it's great because I can see, oh, I like how they did that, or I like how they said that, or that negotiation strategy, or whatever it is. It's constantly building and like it's actually education to scroll through a lot of my feed.
Mhm. Even with that like mindset too, where like I'll see, I don't know, we probably have the same feed in that, where it's like, hey, get up, do this, like, and then you think at your whole, you see that feed of like, hey, I want to be this entrepreneur, I want to be this thing, and I'm pretty sure that's not on everybody's feed.
No.
And you think that everybody is like, oh my gosh, there's so many of these like secrets around. There's so many of these things that are out, and it's like, does everybody just know this? Does everybody? No, they don't. It's
Yeah.
specific to you. It's your own
Yeah.
worldview. But yeah,
That's cool how that works.
yeah. But other than that, I appreciate it, Lydia. I appreciate you coming on. I'll have all your links in the description, so everybody go ahead and check that out. But yeah, I'll go ahead and
Perfect. Thanks so much for having me.
of course.